Hey, 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 welcome to Talk Tuesday. Today's topic is you're carrying financial pressures that no one sees. And this is a very good topic because some of our heaviest burdens, financial burdens, are something that no one sees. So stay tuned. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, welcome to Talk Tuesday. I'm Coach D, your financial coach, and I want to help you to reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. This month, for the month of June, our topic or our monthly theme is financial pressure, growth, and the next level. So that's what we'll be going through this month. Hey, thank you for tuning in. So the actual topic for today is you're carrying financial pressure no one sees. This is a big one because a lot of people are doing this. This is happening to a lot of people. Hey, ladies, how are you? Thank you for joining. All right, so let's talk about the financial pressure because it's not always visual. And, someone can have a very good job, they can have a nice car, they can have uh, their own home and walking around, smiling every day. And, not that they're not happy, however, they are carrying financial pressure. And this happens to a lot of people. And that's why we're going to talk about it tonight because a lot of people feel like, as long as I look successful, people are going to think I'm successful. And just because you're having financial issues or financial pressure does not mean that you're not successful. And that's another way we'll get in our own head and we'll feel like, because I have things going on financially, people are going to think that I don't have it together. So that's a big one. You'll might feel embarrassed. Some people feel embarrassed, so they don't want anyone to know. So, and that's something that a lot of clients, 8 out of 10 clients, when I ask clients, what took, like they'll say, I have been wanting to work with you and I've been watching and, I finally did it. So while, people who say things like that, I'm like, well, what took you so long? The number one thing, I was embarrassed. I didn't know what you were going to say, what you were going to think when you actually saw my finances. And that held them back from getting to the results sooner. So if that is you, don't be that person. Let's do it. I'm ready when you are. But a lot of people, that's a lot of people. You're the responsible one. I shouldn't need help. I'm always responsible for everything and everyone else. And then, you stick to yourself. You're just trying to figure it out by yourself. And sometimes it takes longer. So let's talk about it. All right. So I have on here a couple types of financial pressures that people are carrying quietly. So we'll go over that because that usually shows up, if you're maybe the primary person in the home that's handling all the finances. So people don't know what's going on because you're carrying that all by yourself. It could be, well, let's go over my things. Let me go because I'll probably start talking like I do and cut into something I'm getting ready to talk about on one of my topics. And before we actually get into the types of financial pressures I have pulled for today, I want to let you know the 5-year anniversary celebration. I'm almost finished setting up the page for everyone to register. I'm so excited about it. I have decided all of the prizes to go with the games. I have decided on the grand prize and just all the things. I'm just so excited just to how the night's going to go, what we're going to talk about, so that it can be a celebration. Number one, number two, still fun. Number three, we're still learning about finances. So just know our trivia questions will have everything to do with finances. And then I hope, the not hope, I know the prizes that you'll get will be wonderful and that you will enjoy them and they'll be beneficial for you. Yes, prizes, absolutely, and it's free, and you would just have to register. So once I get the links together, I'll have that set up as I should. Oh, thank you. Yep, and then I'll send an email if you're on the email list. If not, just check back. I promise by Friday it'll be up, but I hope to have it before then. For my email list, I'll send it out to you all as soon as it's ready. For others, I'll get it on my social media, like on the back end on those links. Definitely, they'll be ready for by Friday. So, and I'll add it to my website. So I just had to put it in a couple places. So it's going to take me a little bit of time. So definitely email. You'll get the link first. And I'm just excited about it. So stay tuned. I hope to have it by today, but life happens. It's not ready, but it will be. So stay tuned. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about the night. But let's get back onto today's live. So let's go over some pressures that we're carrying quietly that others might not know. A big one, a very big one, is you're the strong one. You're the strong one for everyone else. Everyone comes to you when things are going on. You know, I can't let someone know my finances aren't together because I'm the stronger one. I'm the one people come to for help. So why I can't tell anyone because they're used to coming to me. So just because you are the strong person, don't feel like you can't have pressure. A lot of times you hold the most pressure because you are doing the most. You are, taking in the most because everyone's coming to you. And I have to say, sometimes I feel like, that pressure because you have a lot going on. I have it at work, I have it at home. So right now I've got a lot going on. Might not be necessarily financial pressure, but definitely pressure. So, with finances involved, a lot, right? So number two, another pressure you might be, yep, I'm the fixer, but a hot mess. But listen, but it's good that you can say that because a lot of people are, there for everyone else. And you put yourself on the back burner, like, okay, I'm going to handle my business afterwards. Let me help this person. Let me help this person. Let me help this person. Let me make sure this is done. Let me make sure this is done right. And at the end of the day, you don't get to do what you're supposed to be doing for yourself. So I commend you for just saying that. Just saying that because a lot of times we'll keep it in. And yeah, so I love that you said that. Number two, a financial pressure could be, you know, looking successful. On the outside, I look like I have everything together, but inside, not so much. It's very different. Everything's spiraling out. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. And, accounts going in the negative, late fees, credit cards. I missed this. This credit card's closed. This loan's done. And these people are calling me all day long. And meanwhile, everybody on the outside thinks I have it together. Everything is going great. And, this is a pressure that people carry on the inside, financial pressures. You have all this going on, your phone's ringing off, took your turning your ringer off, probably facing your phone down and not answering calls, not checking emails, not opening mail. This is a financial pressure that some people go through and no one sees it. And these the point of talking about all these today are just discussing things that people are going through. One might be something that you're going through, one might be something someone else is going through. So hearing these different things, one, you can recognize it in yourself. Two, you might see these things in someone else, now that you're hearing about it, understanding it, and you can support someone, like, hey, are you all right? Like in what should I don't have my bracelet, but May was Mental Health Awareness Month. We're talking about finances, but Mental Health Awareness Month was last month. And at work, what we did, I'm on a part of the Employee Association. We got all the staff these bracelets. Uh-oh, can you see me? It looks like my screen's freezing up. Let me know if you can still hear me. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi is on my cell phone. I turned it off. But still let me know if you're hearing me still because my screen had kind of like froze. It looked like a computer when I was moving. Yes, okay, great. Thank you. But we got everyone these bracelets for Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course they're still wearing them. It's not just May and you can't wear them anymore. But it's on one side, it's green and it says today is a good day, and then they're able to flip it over on the white side and it says today's not such a good day. So what we've been doing is anytime we see someone with their bracelet flipped on the white side, we just check in like, how are you doing? How can can I help you with anything? Do you want to talk about anything? Just being able to support each other and people not having to say like things are going on, but they can still show you. Because sometimes when you talk about things, it kind of makes things worse for you, gets you all upset. And, so that was really cool. So I forget how I got onto that. I think it was just basically learning about these different things that people might be carrying privately, and you can support them by noticing things. So paying attention. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Some people, were all for it. Some people were like, "I'm not wearing that." But, the majority of people have been enjoying it, and just seeing the staff wearing them is wonderful. And, just to be able to support each other. We work in a, high pressure, facility. A lot going on, a lot of things people are going through, not what, normal people are going through at their job. So, yeah. So that's another one, the pressures of looking successful financially when we're not. Everyone's assuming everything is wonderful. Okay. The next one I have, the pressure of supporting others. This is a big one because most people are supporting others, whether it's, your children, um, your parents, your grandparents, your pets. You're caring more than people realize, and people don't see it because that stuff's sometimes at home. If we're not talking about it, like for instance, just talking about work. If I'm at work and I got a lot going on, I'm not telling everybody what's going on. So people don't know the pressure that I'm carrying and how much, knowing with finances, caring for other people. So caring for children. They can't help and, pay for siblings. Siblings is that's another one. Yeah, that's another one. Um, you know, people don't know how much that person might be asking of you as far as speaking of an adult, speaking of siblings, they could be asking a lot of you financially, a lot of you as far as running around, which takes away from your, what you had to do. Children, you're buying stuff for them to eat, for them to clothe them, for their activities, for their toys, different things. This is pressures. No one knows how much you're spending on all this stuff for your children. That's a lot. College, cars, vacations, if they can't afford to pay for their own vacation. Parents, it could be, paying for, depending on their age, maybe they might have, might be in a facility where we have to cover that, or maybe they have someone that comes into works with them, help, or, to keep them active, or if they're in, have like I previously worked at in long-term care, so I know, waiver services where they might need someone to come in to help them, maybe like a nurse. So these things cost. So it's just the cost of things that people don't see. So caring for others, supporting others because they can't, necessarily at all, or they can't cover themselves completely. That's a big pressure. Most people don't talk about it until they are like to the roof. They're like, you know what, but this is a pressure that people carry, a financial pressure. That's the whole thing, financial pressure. It's a lot because you have to not only yourself, because we don't even think about it. So I went through that whole list and never said ourselves, but supporting people. Another one I have on here. This is a big one. The pressure of debt. Because why is this a big financial pressure? This is a big financial pressure because no one knows how much debt you have. Only you. And some people don't even know their own amount of debt because they're too afraid to look at it. They're too afraid to, let's open this bill up. Let's write them all out. Let's see how much that I have. How much do I owe this company? How much do I owe that company? That's a big one that people don't see. And sometimes the actual person that has it that doesn't see because they're just, hey, I'm just going to pay the minimum. I'm not getting into looking at the whole balance. I'm not getting into looking at the interest that I'm paying, not looking at my fees or anything like that. I'm going to pay this minimum and going on about my day, because what are we doing? We're worrying about everyone else, like I just talked about the previous one, supporting others. So it's like, all right, I'm just going to pay this minimum and keep rolling. So that is a big one. So sometimes we're paying that debt and, we're not able to pay as much as we would like to, but a little bit more is better than the minimum. So, get a plan, figure out how you should pay it back, what's the best way for you. There's different methods. I have a video on here, right here on YouTube, where I go over the avalanche method. I go over the snowball method, and then there's a couple videos on debt itself. So you just go to the page, search whatever topic you're thinking about. But because we're talking about debt, think about that, and look into it because with the debt, that's a big pressure. And sometimes we can't focus on our debt because we're thinking about the bills that are due right now. We're thinking about the cable or the groceries or the gas or just other things. And debt, if we're able to pay the minimum, a lot of times that's what we'll do and not focus on the other things. We're thinking about our needs, definitely the groceries, electricity, for air, for heat, just those things. And could be thinking about things in the future. Of course, something I'm looking forward to that I haven't planned, but let me tell you, it's happening. A vacation. As soon as we get back home and settled, I know it's gonna, be like getting back home to something new. But let me tell you, after it's finished and we're back home, and I can just take some time to just relax. I cannot wait. And then once I get back, I'm going to do a series for you all. Let me tell you, this is off topic, but I am going to do a series talking about the whole process of the house fire. It's going to probably take a couple of weeks, and I'm just going to just keep going and tell you about all the different parts and just try to make people aware of what happens. You never want to think about it. I never thought it would happen to me. However, I always had like a phobia of fire. Like I just always afraid of it, um and it happened to us. So to be able to talk about it, I'm excited to be able to share and help others to prepare in the event something were to happen. So just know that's coming. I don't know exactly when, but that's going to be coming soon. The last one I have on here, financial pressures, that types of pressures we'll carry. The pressure of starting over, and this is kind of relates to us, starting over. We had the house fire, we lost everything, and have to start over buying things, So that's another one. So that's a pressure that people carry that others can't always see. Like for us, people can see because they know we had the fire, but different things that go on in your life when you're forced to, start over, whether it could be bankruptcy. It could be a lot of different things. You'll know if you started over, and starting over is not a bad thing because number one, you're starting over with knowledge. You're starting over with understanding of where you were, what you did, what worked, maybe what didn't work. So that when you do it again, you don't make that mistake again or make a mistake that you previously made. You are able to make the better decisions. You're able to plan. You're able to do. It can be challenging sometimes. It can be challenging, but don't feel bad because you are starting over. In a better position because you're knowing things like, let's think back to in college how I got started with the whole financial things with the credit cards. I know to tell people don't go get a million credit cards because someone's offering them to you. So then I know starting over after you pay them off, don't run them all up again. Don't run this card up, because they have different things like this one's good for gas, this one's good for groceries. Just because they're good for them doesn't mean run them up, to the max. Use them, pay them back, use only what you can afford to pay back, use them in a sense that I'm able to benefit from the rewards that come with the card. So I'm not setting myself backwards. So just an example of how starting over with my credit cards, I like didn't get rid of them, but paying them off and actually starting to use again. I'm starting over financially, but I'm able to start over with the experience and the knowledge that I gained the first go around. Don't do that again. You remember how stressed that was, how much pressure that was, and how it felt to be like, I'm never going to be finished paying this off. So definitely, that's a big one. Starting from scratch is not a bad thing, but that's a pressure that people carry because they're like, oh, I don't want anyone to know I'm starting over. I don't want anyone to know what's going on with me. So I felt this topic was awesome for today as far as carrying financial pressures that no one sees because a lot of people are. A lot of people are. And there are many more than what I just picked to talk about. But I just picked a couple that I felt, people would understand and more common, but there are many different ways. So if you are carrying a financial pressure that others can't see, you are not alone. You are not alone. I have, as always, some reflection questions for you all to think about after we get out of here. And after hearing this, after talking about discussion today, what financial pressures are you carrying? Just think about it. Just thinking about what we discussed today. Any of those things I said, which financial pressure are you carrying right now? That's a big one. Another one could be pressure. What pressure are you carrying alone? Something that you're doing that you're putting it all on yourself that others could actually help you and support you and take that load off of you. Think about that because sometimes we don't ask for help. And that was something I had to learn. Not necessarily with my finances, but like at work. So at work being a supervisor, it was like at first I had to think about it like, hey, my staff are there to support me. You know, they're a reflection of me. Show them how I want it, show how it should be done, allow them to do this. Giving a task to someone else. And sometimes, not sometimes, but they'll have free time every now and again. So them doing it is and it's done like that, where it's me putting it on my to-do list and it's waiting until the end of the week or because I have so many moving parts going on. But yeah, allow someone to help you carry things. That was something that, strange to use as an example, but that was something that was big for me because I was like, yo, they can, and then I started tasking things out because I'm trying to do everything and nope, nope. So, just like that with your finances, allow someone to help you. If you're paying all the bills or you're not necessarily, maybe not necessarily paying them as far as financially, but paying as far as you're scheduling this one to get paid, scheduling this one to get paid, allow someone to help you. Hey, schedule this payment for me. I'm going to schedule this one. You schedule that one. Or, I'm always checking on the parent. You go check on the parent this time, different things. Sometimes you just need a little help. Yes. And sometimes we don't ask for help. And people who need the help usually don't ask for the help because they're a strong person who handles everything. So it just makes it harder. So give yourself that. Go ahead and ask for some help. Let somebody help you. And if they don't know how to do it, show them how to do it. And don't give up on the first try. Let's say they don't get it exactly how you want it. You know, show them again. Or say, like, hey, you did it this way. I really like it this way. Or if you did it this way, it might be easier for you. Help them help you. Okay. I hope today's live on carrying financial pressures no one sees was very helpful, was insightful. And, if you learned something, share it with someone else. You can share the live, tell them about it, however you want to share it, but, help somebody. Because a lot of people are carrying financial pressures, definitely with the way things are going in the world. Everything's going higher. Prices are increasing way faster than we're getting raises. So, share it with someone so it can help them. All right. Because financial pressure is not always visible. So I will tell you to just hang tight to the end of the week, though, before we go, so I can send you the link for the celebration. All right. See you next week. Same place, same time, right here on YouTube, Enhancing Your Finances for Talk Tuesday, our weekly segments where we help you give you tips to help you enhance your finances. So I'll see you next week. Have a great evening.